Good morning, Philippines. Good morning, Metro Manila. I am Bruce Lim, and you're tuned in to RIPH Newscast. For the headlines, Manuel Rojas of Liberal Party won against Nacionalista Sergio Osmeña. Osmeña took over presidency amid Rosas' death. Ramon Magsaysay continued Osmeña's legacy as the 7th president of the Philippines. These and more as we go on with the report. Now for the latest news, Manuel Rojas of the Liberal Party won against Nacionalista Sergio Osmeña. Rojas became the third and would be the last president of the Commonwealth in April 1946. On July 4, 1946, the Philippines gained independence from the United States, marking the start of the Third Republic. Manuel Rojas, the president of the new republic, prioritized rebuilding the nation from the devastation of the World War II. Rojas secured a $25 million U.S. government loan and an additional $10 million from the UNRRA to aid in rebuilding the Philippines post-World War II. Rojas established the Bell Trade Act, enabling free trade between the U.S. and the Philippines, but it was controversial due to its favor towards the U.S. businesses. The Parity Amendment was part of an agreement which allowed U.S. citizens to have the same rights as Filipinos in using natural resources and managing public utilities, which many felt undermined Philippine sovereignty. However, in 1948, the Commonwealth President died of a heart attack on the 15th of April while delivering his speech at Clark Air Base in Pampanga.
His unexpected death led to the succession of his vice president, Elpidio Quirino, who assumed the presidency and continues Rojas' policies, especially in rebuilding the post-war Philippine economy and dealing with internal unrest. He focused on rebuilding and modernizing the Philippine economy after World War II. He created institutions like the Agricultural Credit and Cooperative Financing Administration and Presidential Actions Committee on Amelioration to support farmers and social programs. His administration built significant projects like Maria Cristina Hydro Plant in Iligan City and Ambuklao Dam in Benguet, which helped boost power generation and support industrial power. He founded Boys Towns of the Philippines, a shelter and educational center of unprivileged boys aiming to improve social welfare. The administration faced corruption allegations, including a U.S. war surplus property scam, and faced challenges in developed projects, diplomacy, and conflict resolution. $20 million was diverted for Liberal Party campaign funds. Ramon Magsaysay, the 7th President of the Philippines, is a man, known as the man of the masses. Magsaysay was popular for his approachable leadership style. He also popular for his connections with the common people and popular for his social justice and pro-poor initiative. Magsaysay worked on reducing the communist Hukbalahap insurgency through an amnesty program that encouraged rebels to surrender peacefully. His strategy helped restore peace in rural areas. Magsaysay supported the formation of the Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, an alliance created to prevent the spread of communism in Asia. Magsaysay created the Laurel-Langley Agreement to improve trade relation with the U.S., while Magsaysay signed with Japan to compensate the Philippines for World War II damages.
Magsaysay introduced the Land Tenure Reform Act to improve agrarian rights and land tenure, aiming to give farmers more ownership and security over the land they work. Magsaysay's presidency was tragically cut short when he died in a plane crash on March 17, 1957. His Vice President Carlos P. Garcia succeeded him. Carlos P. Garcia advocated for the nationalization of key industries in a reduction in dependence on foreign capital. Carlos P. Garcia served as the 18th President of the Philippines from 1957 to 1961 after rising to power following the death of President Ramon Magsaysay. The Filipino First Policy was a key initiative by President Carlos P. Garcia, prioritized Filipino businesses and industry over foreign interests aiming to boost the local economy and reduce dependency on foreign capital. This was complemented by his austerity program, which encouraged economic self-reliance and government spending cuts. Additionally, the Bolen-Serrano Agreement revised the term of the U.S.-Philippine Military Bases Agreement, reducing the duration of U.S. bases in the Philippines from 99 to 25 years. Garcia's vice president during his term was Diosdado Macapagal from the Liberal Party, even though Garcia was a member of the Nacionalista Party. Diosdado Macapagal, serving as the fifth president of the Third Republic from 1961 to 1965, Macapagal focused on liberal economic policies, nationalism, and social reform of the country. His decontrol program aimed to liberalize the economy by removing import and currency exchange control, which encouraged a free market approach.
He created the Agricultural Land Reform Law, a significant domestic achievement aimed to address land ownership inequalities and improve tenant farmers' livelihoods through the land redistribution. Macapagal asserted Philippine sovereignty by claiming Sabah in North Borneo and promoting regional unity through Mafilindo, a confederation of Malaysia, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Carlos P. Garcia's administration marked a cultural shift by changing Philippine Independence Day from July 4 to June 12, honoring 1898 independence and promoting Filipino language used in official documents, fostering national pride and distancing the nation from colonial past. Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was the sixth president of the Third Republic. His presidency is marked by both major infrastructural achievements and historical political controversy until now. The administration prioritized economic reforms, infrastructure, and national defense, achieving key achievements like stabilizing government finances through enhanced tax collection, new tax laws, and foreign loans. He promoted agricultural advancements such as the IR-18 hybrid miracle rice, improved irrigation systems, and increased rice production to achieve food security. Infrastructure projects were a hallmark of his term, notably the construction of the North Diversion Road, now part of the Luzon Expressway, bridges, roads, and schools.
He improved the Philippine National Railway and carried out aggressive measures to combat smuggling, organized crime, and the Communist New People's Army. Marcos' second term, 1969 to 1972, was marked by economic difficulties. Overspending during the 1969 elections led to inflation and a devalued currency, known as the floating peso. The period saw dirty politics, increased graft and corruption, and a widening income gap, which contributed to public unrest, student demonstrations, and rising social issues. The 1935 Constitution was increasingly seen as inadequate to address these new socio-economic challenges, while crimes, communism, and subversion continued to grow, fueling political and social tensions across the country. The Constitutional Convention was established in 1971 to draft a new constitution, but the 1971 Plaza Miranda massacre resulted in Marcos suspending the writ of habeas corpus. Martial law led to arrest and detentions of political oppositions, media, and academia, accusing them of sympathizing with rebels, supporting rebels, or communists, including Senators Aquino and Jokno.
On June 16, 1981, right after lifting of martial law, the first presidential election in 12 years was held. In the Philippine election, Marcos won a massive 88% victory over Nationalist Party candidate Alejo Santos and Federal Party Cebu Assemblyman Bartolome Cabangbang. Opposition parties boycott the elections. In 1980, former Senator Ninoy Aquino suffered a heart attack and refused to be operated on by Marcos doctors. Imelda Marcos offered him to the US on conditions. Aquino returned to the Philippines in 1983 but was shot dead in the head. In 1985, political and economic instability in the Philippines led to fears of the Marcos dictatorship violent overthrow. The White House advised the Marcos government to gain public confidence, leading to a snap special presidential election on February 7, 1986. The KBL party proclaimed Marcos and Assemblyman Arturo Tolentino as their candidates. On the other hand, the opposition's United Nationalist Democratic Party leader Salvador Doy H. Laurel settled for the vice presidency to give way to Ninoy's widow, Corazon Cory C. Aquino, to run for president. After the election, Marcos Tolentino won the partial official count on the Commission of Election, while Aquino and Laurel were leading in the unofficial count of national movement for free election. The Comelec count ended with Marcos winning, leading to massive protests and calls for civil disobedience. On February 16, 1986, Aquino and the opposition railed for the Tagumpay ng Bayan, attended by over 3 million people. This marked the beginning of the People Power Revolution, a peaceful uprising that would eventually lead to ousting the President Marcos and the installation of Corazon Aquino as the new president. The People Power Revolution began in 1986 as an attempt coped by the Reform AFP movement, led by Col. Giorgio Ringo Honasan. Defense Minister Enrile announced the withdrawal of support to President Cory Aquino, and Archbishop Cardinal Sim urged the Filipinos to support the rebel leaders. An estimated 3 million people filled EDSA between Camp Crame and Aguinaldo. On February 25, 1986, Cory Aquino was inaugurated and Marcos was advised by White House to seek exile. Marcos' family was transported to Clark Air Base, Guam, and Hawaii, where they celebrated the event.
Corazon Cory Aquino, 1933 to 2009, was an important figure in Philippine history. She is the best known for leading the People Power Revolution in 1986, which ended the 20-year rule of Ferdinand Marcos. After the revolution, she became the country's first female president. The first thing Cory Aquino did was to restore democracy. Immediately, she ordered the release of political prisoners and restored the weight of habeas corpus in Region 9 and 12 in Mindanao. On March 25, 1986, President Aquino issued Proclamation No. 3, formally promulgating the Provisional Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, also known as the Freedom Constitution. She emphasized freedom, family values, equality for women, agrarian reform, anti-corruption, and banned political dynasties. She provided for a Bill of Rights which prohibited the death penalty, torture, and secret detention.
Ensured free education up to high school and promoted a Filipino-controlled economy. Her administration worked to recover wealth stolen by the Marcos family and their allies. Her administrations faced lots of issues, including the 1986 Manila Hotel Rebellion, the 1987 God Save the Queen coup, and the 1989 Military Rebellion, and the devastating eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. the 1990 Central Luzon earthquake, and the repeated power shortages. Lastly, here are the 6 presidential administrations after the Cory Aquino administration under the 1987 Constitution. That wraps up our coverage of the Third Republic of the Philippines. Stay tuned for more updates and reports on the nation's history and progress. We are Group 3, and thank you for watching.